So let's get this straight real quick. For the sun deprived, ash need, rage chugging rejects who stumbled into my comment section like they were storming the Capitol again. You know, I did 3 videos, one on black fatigue, the term that the white community, not all, but some, feeling like they're tired of black folk. One on a white woman who felt emboldened enough to call a little black boy the N-word, and folks who think like her donating to her because she felt threatened after she did it. And one on a black girl who decided to dig into the code to find the parent company who was funding it. And look who crawled out of the dustiest corners of the internet and huddled up in my comment section like it was a virtual clan meeting with Wi-Fi. A whole swarm of basement dwelling, keyboard thumping, rage-a-ronies. You know, the Wi-Fi warlords of whiteness, the incestual choir, the male militants, the patriarchy posse, like a trailer park Justice League. Y'all put up like it was a virtual gangbang, and y'all was waiting in line for your chance to see if it's really sweet. Be careful now, baby, because I'm the kind of sweet that'll have you phoning home to your community and telling them you ain't coming home no more.
Yeah, give me Hollycourt, 55377. Hello, it's Daddy. Hey, darling, put Mommy on the phone. Yeah, Barbara, it's Richie. Yeah, look, I ain't never coming home no more. Take it easy.
Clock that. Mad because a black woman stood 10 toes down in her truth on her own damn platform and said, behooves, and rebranded it in a way that you couldn't decode. See, you just mad because the code didn't come with your set of keys. You mad that I decided to assign context, clarity, and conviction to my words in my voice on my damn channel. And it sent y'all foaming at the mouth. So, is it the fish's fault that he hooked the fish? Or the fish's fault that he couldn't stay away from the bait? Here's what bothers me. You saw a small channel because you would have never did this on Natasha K. Live. You would have never did this on a Storm Monroe. You wouldn't even did this on a Voodoo Doll TV because you know there's powers in numbers and you would be outnumbered. But what you didn't expect was even though you had the numbers, baby, I am the power. But you thought easy target. You thought let's jump her digitally because y'all never do this stuff in person. Not without a mob. But see, here's the problem. I'm not your average pushover. I'm the glitch in your algorithm. I'm the pop-up ad in your rage scroll. So let me say it again with my whole chest. It behooves me. And don't that sound better in that context anyway? And let me help you out since your imagination is bankrupt and your comprehension is in foreclosure. So all you have left is loud. Behooves means something necessary, proper, or beneficial. Like it behooves you to stay out of black spaces if you're just gonna embarrass yourself in them. But what behooves me is you came to a black space to say you hate black people. And let me say it again for the hard of hearing and the hollow soul. You came here to us because your obsession is louder than your hate. You can't stay away. Y'all talk a good game. But see, your craving for relevance or any kind of attention, like a child where negative attention is better than no attention at all, dragged you by your ankles right into a room where nobody asked for you. And see, I knew what covering this story would bring out. Sewer rats, gnats, and damn flies. Because you know, you call out MAGA, it's going to bring maggots. And now I feel like my beautiful city needs to be exterminated.
Who you gonna call? I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
Because see, you didn't come to have a conversation. You didn't even come to debate. You came to dehumanize. Talking about black babies are alligator bait. And who gonna make them that? Because I would love to see you walk up to a black mother or a black father and take their child and throw them to some alligator. Please, I want to see you do it. And I promise you they'll give you another reason to hate us. I promise you they're gonna give you a first-class lesson on what happens when consequence meets up with repercussion. But how about this? How about you pay attention to your own children, because word on the street is they raging too. On y'all. How about you pay attention to them before you become their statistic? You came to insult my looks, question my intelligence, and try to play in my face. So see, that's what y'all do when you can't match wits or intelligence. You resort to name calling. But see, my esteem in self is so high that it can't be brought low by the noise of the miserable trying to measure me with broken rules. By folks who confuse confidence with audacity simply because I won't shrink to fit your comfort zone. Let's talk about it. You have to look up to talk down to me because I'm that bitch. And let's give you a key to a code since y'all so desperate to have one. That means being in total control of herself. And that's where you slipped. Because again, you came to me. I didn't come seeking you out. And I'm not talking to all white people. No, I'm talking to the little energized bunnies with corroded batteries in your back who thought you was standing on something. See, I'm not the one, I'm not the two, and I for damn sure ain't the silent type. So buckle up, buttercup. You pulled up to a duel and brought a spoon. They say never bring a knife to a gunfight. Well, that's only if you don't know how to use a blade. And I am the blade. Let's get into it. And now, I'm your problem every time you step into this space. And I don't need an entourage, a cheering squad, because I stood 10 toes by myself with y'all. Toxic, barbaric masculinity. That's why your women leaving y'all and going to black meat. Ha! That really ruffles y'all feathers, don't it? So welcome to the roast, the reckoning, and the reminder. This is my space, my house, and you just tripped the alarm. So either move along or grab a glass, sit that ass down and behave accordingly. See, I know you're not used to dealing with consequences. You're not used to dealing with someone who will look you out and tell you to stick your dick in the dirt and be cool. Or go back to the sewer you slithered out of. But I am she and she is me, and I'm not a me that you can play with. Cause this ignorant, dumpy looking black woman ain't folding, flinching, or fading. So step up or bow down. A queen is in the room, and you will respect it. Now for the rest of my champagne gang, let's toast.
Confidants, what is your profession? See my friend, nothing but soldiers and empowerment over here.
Pop that cork, let it rain, living lavish, no restraint.
So y'all listen, it looks like black folk weren't the only ones dealing with side eyes and segregation. Apparently, the freckled, flamed, and redheads was being treated like the stepchildren of society as well. So it wasn't just melanin that was being ostracized. No, baby, it was also the melanin adjacent. Baby, they was discriminating all across the color wheel. So, was Cinderella a redhead too? Let me find out. But then, like a cosmic twist from the ancestry fight, a radiant black queen stood up and said with her whole chest, all gingers are black.
I just need to remind y'all again, everyone who is ginger, who has red hair, those are black people. All gingers are black people. If they have red hair, they are black. You see a white man with red hair, that's a black man. You see a white woman with red hair, that's a black woman. Gingers are black. All gingers.
And baby, the black folk threw their arms wide open. And they came running on in, waiting for their place, claiming their plate at the family cookout. And the hair care finally accepted, finally embraced. Baby, they went from outcasts to culture cousins. And just like that, the red-headed stepchildren of society linked up with the fam with flavor. Bring it in. Bring it in. No more hair hates. No more freckle phobia. Cause y'all know them freckles cute. Y'all know they are. Some of y'all was in the bathroom as teenagers with the pencil trying to put dots on your face to make it look like you had some. Don't front. You ain't got a lie to kick it. Just love, lineage, and fiery locks. So if you're ready to get into this phenomenon, baby, then come on in, gingers and all. You're welcome into Champagne City. Your flute is waiting. Now grab your favorite glass of bubbly and make sure it's filled to the rim. Say hi to your new family and get ready to sip this melanin-rich, copper-tone conspiracy where curls meets coils, freckles. And red meets real. This ain't just genetics, baby. It's a soul connection. It's freckles and flavor. It's what happens when the misunderstood unite and sets the whole narrative on fire. Literally. Welcome to the gingerfication of a culture. And baby, it's not giving, it's glowing. So if you're ready to get into it, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's toast.
And especially for the haters, because God knows you motherfuckers are watching, and we know exactly who you are. The ones who are out here screaming, "Oh, if gingers aren't black, they're just using them." Like, dude, listen. Let me break it down for you why this is going as viral as it is, and why y'all don't get it. All right? Clear, plain and simple. If you are a redhead, a real redhead, you likely got bullied your entire life for having red hair. If you're like me, you've been called fire crotch, carrot top, gingers have no soul, rather be dead than red. My own dad used to bust my balls with that one, right? Leprechaun, my mom called me that this morning. Do the carpet smash the drapes, like all this stuff. Like, yeah, we've all heard it all. All right. If you're like me, that shit never came from the black kids. I don't think I've ever been made fun of for my hair and for being a redhead once in my entire life by somebody who was black. As a matter of fact, I was always friends with the black kids. They always welcomed me in with open arms and never gave me a problem. So to me, when this whole thing popped off, it was no surprise at all. Because first things first, as a redhead, we never felt like we fit in anywhere. The deal is, man, like, black people are super accepting. They're always loving. They're always fun. They always kind of include everybody. For all y'all who are showing us all the love out there, who are welcoming us in with open arms, we love you. We appreciate you. We thank you very much. Yo, for all the bullies out there who are still trying to talk shit, dude, it ain't working anymore. All right? Drop it. Enough's enough. Cool?
The whole gingers are the new black has taken the world by storm. It's international. It's international, and y'all don't even know where it come from. You know, you heard the sound, and people just use it. And for the most part, it's a positive response, right? Everybody who's ginger is coming out with it. So, quick story. Somebody at my job, I wanted to know if he heard about it. So I was just like, "Hey, you're on TikTok?" No. So when I say this word, what do you think? Ginger. He goes, "Oh, yeah, like gingers are the new black." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Did you LOL when you heard that since you're a ginger?" And he was just like, "I always felt the connection." And we both laughed. And I was just like, all right. But it's like, do you guys know who made that super viral, right? It's Diarra. Listen, she comes on TikTok. She doesn't wear makeup like she says. She just comes on like this. She's just being her authentic self. She dropped a quick history lesson as to where it originated from. And now everybody who is ginger is happy to claim it and just doing their thing. They're just like happy. I think I heard one negative when somebody was like, "We're not black." But for the most part, it's brought like people together. But again, it came from Diarra. She's the one that explained it. She's the one that made it go viral. And girl, you're viral everywhere. People at my job are talking about it. Okay? But she would tell you in recent news, she would tell you, "I am a root worker. I do voodoo." She's being her authentic self. And she's just like, "I will drop a root on you real quick." So did you guys know? I just don't know that people give her credit for this viralness that came about, because she's the one that dropped the whole like info and how things originated with and she backed it up with history. So y'all better put some respect on it. And you know what? She is her true self, and I respect that.
I ended up on Ginger Talk, and I am not mad about it. But it got me thinking, you know how we have our own saying of aging gracefully? And it's time that you folks get one too. So what about freckles never fade, or spots stay hot, or flame stays the same? Girl, you know black don't crack. Girl, you know the flame stays the same.
Listen, I'm 41, and It's all starting to make sense now. But some of y'all already knew.
It took one woman to come on here and say gingers are black for y'all to believe finally that I'm black. That's crazy, bro. I have two black parents, two parents darker than me, and nobody was believing me until this lady, shout out to her though, shout out to her, until this queen, let me fix that, this queen came on here and said gingers are black. So forget all the family pictures, all the melanin. Excuse me, not right now. I've been inside. I look like a sugar cookie, whatever. Summertime, excuse the melanin, right? Excuse the hair. Excuse everything. You know what I'm saying? Forget all that. I was still a white man. Now, and only now that she says something, now everybody call me black. It's crazy, but shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the gingers around the world, white, black, everybody. Shout out to y'all, man. I grew up hating my freaking freckles. You know what I'm saying? They was calling me a ripe banana. I got called fire crotch. Yo, Sinbad, Jadena, any name in the book, I heard it. Finally, we getting some love. Damn.
Now, I just want to say, as a ginger, as a black man who is a redhead, let me just say that, I really appreciate this trend so much for the fact that, like, not a lot of people realize that, like, the things redheads go through, like growing up and stuff. Like, you know, I didn't always look like this growing up. You know, I had to grow into this naturally. So it's like, as a kid, I faced a lot of insecurities when it came to certain things. And, you know, even now I deal with certain things like my teeth and things like that. So I appreciate all the love and, you know, support from everybody. You know, I'm everybody's nephew and grandson now, and I love that. So I appreciate the person who made this go viral, and I appreciate all the love and support that I'm constantly getting. So let's keep showing love to everybody.
All right, listen up, white folk. Now that gingers have finally been claimed and are able to take their rightful place with our black brothers and sisters, we gotta set some ground rules for the rest of you male-looking ass people. First up, you cannot use the G word anymore, okay? That term is reserved for us, and also all black people now have the G word pass. We are part of the BIPOC community, okay? We are POHC, people of hair color. Number 2, if you use SPF 50 or higher, that is cultural appropriation. And no, we are not all Irish, okay? That is a stereotype. And to tack on to that, leprechaun is also a slur too. Number 3, no, you cannot ask us if the curtain matches the drapes, okay? We are not here to be fetishized, we are not here for your amusement. We will also no longer be standing for the media portrayals of gingers, particularly ginger women, as being hypersexual vixen temptresses. Dolly Parton, you get a pass for Jolene. Everyone else, no. Now, Redhead Appreciation Day is on September 23rd annually, and we extend this to also be celebrating our black brothers and sisters as well. And Kiss a Ginger Day on January 12th is out. And all of these regulations and protections extend to the rest of the black community as well, not just the ginger port. And to respect the invitation into the community, we also have no requests with regards to partaking in Juneteenth with you. That is all for you guys. As for Black History Month, we only request that now we be allowed to claim 50% share of Malcolm X. BLM.
Ever since the black community has made me one of their own, I have felt so good, so whole, and I just thank you guys so much. Bless you. Along with that is becoming a more mindful eye of racism. With everything that's happening, I've been going around and looking for gingers out in public. To be honest, they're very hard to find. I keep asking blondes and brunettes if they're ginger because sometimes people look like they were ginger and either dyed their hair or they grew out of it. The answer sometimes is, no, but my mom was, or no, but my sister is, or my aunt, or my grandmother. But the majority of the time it's no. Fuck you mean, Oh, please tell me you're not racist, but the thought of being orange disgusts you? Cool, noted. Another one is when I say that all life derives from Africa. I told this to a woman and her caretaker the other day. The woman is white, the caretaker was a black woman. And when I said it, the caretaker, she smiled. And the other woman playfully slapped her in the arm, snapped her teeth, and said, "Get out of here." Caretaker never even said a word. Now, you'll never be able to convince that woman in a million years that what she just did there was racist. And I knew that pushing that issue or diving into an argument wouldn't have helped the caretaker, that woman, or myself. But of course I didn't stop there. After I hit it with that jab and I find my distance and I'm ready for the power hit, I hit him with, Jesus is black. Oh, and that one gets them. They go from smiling to frowny face. Then they shake their head like a little kid who's eating something that he doesn't want to. Then, just like clockwork, they all say the same exact thing in the same exact way. I don't think Jesus was black. Then they say, I don't know if Jesus was white, but he's definitely not black. So you think there might be a possibility that he's white, but he's definitely not black? Any and all information that we have about Jesus says two things. He might have been black or Middle Eastern, but he definitely was not white. So for you to have the complete opposite ideology of that shows a racial construct. Because you're basing the idea of Jesus not being black off of your own personal beliefs and opinions rather than the facts or the geographical location that he lived in. Jesus is black. Jesus is Lord. Your King, your Lord is black. Your King, your Lord is black.
Hello, brothers and sisters of TikTok and all my new family, all my fellow gingers out there, and my brothers and sisters from another mother. I want to say something here. I've been on a spiritual journey probably for the last 10 years. And you know, thinking about this now, seeing how much we were attacked, how much we were abused, how much the enemy came after us, makes me go back to that thing about the closer you are to the Father, the Creator, or whatever you want to call it, the more the enemy attacks. Look at Job. What happened to him? And I've done a little bit of research, and supposedly he was redheaded too, or a ginger. But I sit here and I think about this. Why would we be so attacked? Is it because that we are more spiritual, and that's the reason why we hold a higher vibration, and the only way for the enemy to get control of things in this world is to lower that vibration? That's the reason why we had all this negative stuff happen to us, and this is on both sides of the fence here. Even with our new Brown family, I'm not going to call them black, because they're not black. They just got a real nice tan. But this is what I've been thinking about the last couple of days. And this is the reason why, you know, my one video I did where, you know, I was very emotional, because I'm telling you, I had buried this stuff way down deep and pushed it way down deep inside. And going back now and trying to see these kids' faces and these people's faces that attack me, all I see is these distorted faces. I can't even remember what they actually looked like, but literally as if they were demons attacking me. So I've always loved Jesus. I've always loved the Father. And that really right there makes me wonder that we are being attacked because of our spirituality, how some people actually say we have these powers. I think my gift is I have this ability to feel other people's pain. That's the reason why I was so upset the other day, because I feel people's energy and I see who they are. So some of these people actually, even in this deal so far, I've kind of seen it's fake. And I want to say another thing, one more thing, and not to upset anybody, but I've seen some of the brothers on here make some comments about some of our ginger sisters. Did you not see that they said that they've been sexualized all their life? And a few of you have already started doing that. Please don't. Please don't. Because I'm telling you right now, there's some of us out there that are strong, that don't need a community to do what they need. Because that we have literally isolated ourselves to do things ourselves without anyone. So, please, this ain't about taking advantage. This is about healing and allowing people to heal on both sides. Because I'm telling you right now, if you hate a race of people, if you do not forgive what happened in the past, what does it says? Forgive lest ye be forgiven, right? If you do not forgive, you won't be forgiven. And that's the reason why I made that little short video. This cookout thing here, I think it's much more than that. It's literally like I felt like the Father telling me, this is the wedding feast, you know, this is the wedding feast. And some of you don't know what I'm talking about. And if we can't forgive, right, that's the reason why all this pain, for some reason or another, I know why it came up, or why this happened to me. Why I had all that emotion come up, because I had buried that stuff, and it's stuff that after the military had been pushed down and suppressed, I was able to handle most of it. But after this, and seeing other people who went through similar things and not actually even knowing that other gingers, because I didn't have any ginger friends, had went through the same thing or similar things. All that pain, I felt their pain. And the Father's literally telling me this is about healing, about letting go, for us to forgive all this stuff that happened to us. Because look at Christ. What did he say? Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Well, I say this, forgive them, Father, for they know not what they have done and what they are still doing. So anyways, love all y'all. Looking forward to the wedding feast.
To all the black people that are so outraged by this whole gingers are black now trend, y'all seriously need to go heal from whatever hurt you got going on. We're starting to create unity in a time of major separation right now. Ever since the trend started, I've been watching some of these TikTok lives, and you have angry black people in the live talking about, oh, we're always letting other people into our space, and the redheads need to stop calling themselves black, and this, that, and the third. And I'm just like, yo, who hurt you? Listen, the gingers are fully aware that their white privilege still exists. They understand that their experience is nowhere near the hurt, harm, and discrimination that people of color have experienced for over 400 years. But they can also relate to being bullied and not welcomed in social circles. They know what it feels like to be stereotyped and inappropriately mistreated. They also know how it feels to not be accepted by their own people or to be good enough to meet societal standards. Black people, we can say we don't care all we want, but gingers now feel seen, heard, and accepted, just like we've been trying to do for years. Y'all have to understand, this is true black power. We are bridging gaps and bringing people together. We're creating more allies in spaces that we didn't even have before. I really hope that this continues to grow into something that changes the world. With all that being said, welcome to the family, my ginger brothers and sisters. Also, quick PSA to the LGBTQ community, the goth community, and the neurodivergent community. You guys are loved, seen, and welcome to the family as well.
Recently on TikTok, the black community welcomed gingers, redheaded white folks, as one of them now. Now they are accepted as black folks. And it's been an absolute beautiful thing to watch on TikTok. So if you really don't know what's happening, check it out, see the videos of ginger folks really kind of embracing being welcomed in by black community and black love, and see the power that brings, right? I'm a white man, grew up in and around black community, and I know the power of black welcoming, right? That feeling, that black love that comes with it. It's such a beautiful thing. And so when you watch these gingers and then you see black folks responding to them saying, thank you for the way that you came in, for the way that you accepted this and the way that you appreciate us, you start to see how the world could change if we as white folks start seeing and appreciating the value of black community. It truly is a powerful thing because it is still built around love, whether you believe it or not, no matter what you see on the television, no matter what you hear in the radio, no matter what the right says, what the left says, how they approach things, uplifting and repairing the harm of black folks is going to bring forth humanity we have never experienced before, most of us anyway. And the gingers are getting a taste of that. And to see their genuine joy and their ability to relate to the bullying of racism and to just appreciate being held down and held up by black folks shows that there is a level of black love that we don't understand, that we haven't been taught to really understand black history or white history to its extent of the intentions behind it and the emotions behind it. We have not been taught to really understand a connection to the planet and each other the way that black folks have, based on their level of melanin allowing them to be where there is an abundance. There is a love that comes out when you think of life as an abundance and we can share this earth and this planet, and black folks have that love. They have that connection. They have that appreciation. It is built into the cake of their culture. And so as white folks, we have built systems that are totally opposing to that. So in essence, we have built a death-based culture. And to see just the natural, instinctive, genuine innocence that gingers have experienced being welcomed into Black community shows us that reparations isn't a cost, it's an investment into our own life and future, and something that we should cherish and lift up. Race for what? Thank you.
I like the way you do that right there. Switch your hips when you walk and let down your hair.
Guys, okay, I'm normally someone who jokes, but this is making me want to cry. This is so sweet. I'm literally getting told compliments by people I find way more beautiful than me, and
it looks like we've finally been accepted into a community, and I gotta say, I'm not too surprised. Not too surprised, because growing up as a ginger, white girls never liked me. White girls never liked me. It was always the Hispanic and Black women who had my heart. And once I got older and the white women started coming, I'm already on Team Black. I'm already on Team Hispanic. I'm not fucking with y'all. It feels weird. I go to my Tinder and it's like 90% Black women. And you know what? Fucking, that's a dub. That's a dub. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to the Black queens. We appreciate you.
All right, y'all. So here's some historical and biblical reasons why all gingers are Black.
Irish were the first slaves in the Americas, predating the first Black African slaves by almost a decade. Slavery is perhaps one of the oldest profit-making endeavors in human history, and the Irish were a special target for 1,000 years.
Throughout history, the Irish were persecuted by one faction or another. Those transported unwillingly and effectively sold were not considered to be indentured. The Irish introduction to slavery was during the first Viking raids in the year 795, lasting through the mid-9th century. This period saw the Irish killed and enslaved. In 841, the port that became known as Dublin was taken and occupied by Ivar the Boneless, and by 853, this part of Ireland was a Norse trading center, and slaves were a large part of it.
During 1649 and 1653, thousands of Irish were sent to the Caribbean against their will. During the initial stages of sugar production, Irish servants often found themselves working side by side with Black slaves. According to historian James Dunn, they became wild and unruly in this extreme period of time. You got a bunch of indentured servants who came from England to try to make a better life. Then you got a bunch of slaves who were brought there against their will, and you mixing that together?
We all know and understand the story of Black slavery here in America. But what if I told you that the first slaves sold on ships were not Black? They were Irish, y'all. In 1600, there was over 300,000 Irish men, women, and children who were sold off into slavery by the British Crown. Shipped off the Caribbean islands into the Americas, y'all. They were labeled as human cargo, but this was before the transatlantic slave trade hit its peak. Moses warned us in Deuteronomy 28. He said the Most High will bring a nation against us like an eagle. That's the British and American colonizers, y'all. Deuteronomy 28:6-8 says that you are going back into Egypt. That's bondage. Again, with ships. That happened to the Blacks, but it also happened to the Irish, y'all, who were originally melanated. Have you ever wondered why that some gingers have no features that resemble Europeans? It's because it's a recessive gene that comes from a Shemitic bloodline. It comes from Esau's bloodline. And as I covered in my last video, Esau shared a womb with Jacob, who was Black. That makes Esau a Black man. Now, this recessive gene is described as having red hair, and the freckles was a mark to let them know that they were always melanated and of Hebrew descent. Not only that, that they were also scattered and enslaved. Yeah, that's right. You've been lied to. The Bible already laid it out for you plainly. Our people are everywhere. And the gingers are our distant cousins. We've all been scattered abroad, but still chose. Follow the War Sheep podcast, y'all, where we waking up the sheep. Don't forget to leave that fire emoji for the truth in the chat. War Sheep podcast, y'all, for more biblical truth. Don't forget to share and save this video, y'all, with those who still believe that gingers are white. We waking up the sheep, y'all. Let's get it.
I just need to remind y'all again, everyone who is ginger, who has red hair, those are Black people. All gingers are Black people. If they have red hair, they are Black. You see a white man with red hair, that's a Black man. You see a white woman with red hair, that's a Black woman. Gingers are Black. All gingers.
Just for me, I don't do trendy or them shimmy dungarees. I'm the man before and after.
So gingers are Black, and I don't know if you've heard this, but I'm just finding this out, and I'm super excited about it because the more the merrier, honestly. No, but this actually started out as a joke and has turned out to be one of the most unexpectedly human trends on TikTok. I love it. Let's talk a little bit about it. So how it all started was a satirical post by a creator was made, and he said that all redheads are actually black. And redheads responded with humorous videos responding, accepting essentially their newly issued black cards, if you will. But then as the trend went on, they started to share stories about being bullied, mocked, made to feel like outsiders. And black creators responded with empathy, essentially saying, we see you. And there's real history here. So Irish immigrants were once deeply marginalized in America. They were labeled as violent, as unclean, not white enough, denied jobs, mocked in newspapers. Sound familiar? And that history might have faded from the headlines, but it does not fade from memory, and it leaves scars behind. And this wasn't just about being different, right? It was about being visibly different and being judged for it. That's what created, I think, this moment where two groups, both historically reduced to caricatures based on their outward identities, saw something familiar in each other. And this wasn't about, who has it worse, right? It's not a competition for who was the most marginalized. It was about the power of people, the power that people carry, quietly, consistently, when they've been pushed to the margins, when they rise to the occasion of dignity. The kind of strength that you develop when the world continues to misunderstand you, but you show up anyway, not as victims, but as victors, but also wrapped in your vulnerability and connected to your empathy. It's amazing. I think what this really showed us is that empathy matters, that, in this time of great divide, because I don't think anybody is asking, hey, was this Ginger a Republican, a Democrat, independent, or anything else? Was this black person who was responding a Republican, a Democrat? No, nobody cared about that. It was just like, hey, we see each other, irrespective of what your beliefs are, what your politics are, what you identify as beyond, this moment. We see each other, and we're united in this way. And I love it. I think it's a really awesome trend. I hope that it continues. I love seeing people come together, across the divide. I mean, this is across the aisle, so, I'm loving it. But anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel about this trend, and I hope it continues. More like it. Let's keep the conversations going. Kind, compassionate, and honest across the aisle. Thanks. See you next time.
I am loving this gingers are black thing that's going on right now. And it's just good to be, accepted, embraced, and finally witnessed and seen after just millennia of absolute chastising and separation from what feels like everybody in some way or another. We were burned at the stake. We were considered witches and wizards and aliens, and we got some funky DNA mutations as well, which is kind of fun. We can handle a lot of heat. We can handle a lot of pain. We went from ridicule to radical. We went from being made fun of every day to being fetishized heavily. But I'm here with you. I'm just your ginger from another mister. I don't know what the saying would be, but yeah, we can be friends now. Holla at your ginger.
So I just realized something that I wanted to point out to folks who might not also realize this, like I didn't realize it. But the black community didn't just open up their arms to us and invite us into their community. They also brought us together as a community. There wasn't no such thing as a redhead community prior to this. That didn't exist. There was no ginger community before this. It didn't exist. But I tell you what, I'm in DMs and in comment sections with dozens, probably coming up on 100 other redheads. And you know what the number one theme I'm seeing is in all those conversations? How can we give back? How? How could you ever repay this sort of thing? How can you repay somebody for giving you a community of your own and inviting you into theirs. There's no way we could ever pay this back. And I'm not saying none of us ever had any love in our lives. I had plenty of love growing up as a kid, you know, even with my experiences, getting bullied and that sort of thing. There was plenty of love in my life. I'm not saying we're completely new to love as a concept, but we're completely new to this level of love and support and appreciation. And like I said, this community is 5 minutes old. Okay? We don't know how to reciprocate this love properly. We're not a strong enough community to be able to give it back in the way that you've given it to us, but we damn sure want to. So please, if you've got any idea about how we could help support you back and how we could reciprocate this appreciation and this acceptance, please just let us know. I mean, obviously, we're doing what we can to support black businesses. Obviously, if there was a black person in trouble and I was around, I'm going to do what I can to help. And obviously, if there's a black woman around, or honestly, I mean, any woman around with me, but particularly black women around, if you're in a place and you don't feel safe and you look up and you see somebody like me around, you're safe. You're good. Straight up. But getting back to the point, what can we do? What can we do to repay this? I don't think it's possible, but we're all wanting to. Believe me, we're all wanting to. Every other ginger I'm talking to in DMs and in comments is saying that. We're all trying to figure it out, what we can possibly do to pay this back. So let me know in the comments.
What's up, Real Velvets? My gingers?
Girl, mine too. Have you heard the Ginger Anthem yet? Girl, I'm finna walk to the store and listen to it. It's called the Ginger Anthem. I guess I'll take you with me, girl. Come on.
We back now. Red hair, freckles, yeah, we black now. Walk around the streets in the shade, giving daps now. Red velvets, we made it. 90s used to hate it, getting faded. Now we with the family at the cookout, gourmet shit. Walk with a swagger, walk with a pride now. Gingers in the building, we just getting hype now. If you used to hate, better pipe down. Oh, red velvet in the building. Oh, red velvet in the building. Chilling with the fam, yeah, we made it.
Okay, I'm back from the store. Oh, girl, I have to sweat my edges out. What you think about the song? Do y'all think it's good, or do you think they need to make one a little bit more fire? I like it. I think it need to be a little spicier. It need to be a little bit more slap you in the face with it.
I've been watching you.
Hi, my name's Ruben, if you don't know me, and this is my grandfather. This is my papa, and we came to an agreement. He has agreed that he will not make a TikTok just to watch my stuff because he'll never post anything, but he wanted me to share some history with you guys that is not commonly known, and a lot of people don't learn this stuff in school. The reason I know it is because he shared it with me, and my family members shared history with me that's not often covered in the school system, along with some advice. And also, before anybody's like, why aren't you letting him on your TikTok? I post some crazy things on here, like my internet search history, and then either he's gonna have a heart attack or he's gonna take me out, okay? Because there was at one point, I was a teenager and we had posted, I was like 18, 19, and we posted this video of us dancing. It was me and my cousins, and he literally sent me a message and was like, I'm the only reason you have a booty, and I will shove my foot up it if you don't take that off the internet. So, you know, he might take me out if he saw some of the stuff that I post on here. Like, he's not a fan of a lot of the summer outfits I wear. The first thing that he wanted me to make sure that people were educated on and educate themselves on is the Tulsa Race Massacre. This is something that's not taught a lot in schools. A lot of people have no idea about it, but in 1921, there was a thriving city. They called it Black Wall Street because it was thriving, and it was a town full of African Americans, and white people got upset that this town was just thriving because it was thriving because of black people, and they literally massacred the entire town. He has, well, I guess we have a family member that passed away in that. And it breaks his heart seeing that so many people have no idea about this. Like, it's not covered in regular history. The second large thing that he wanted me to talk about is for people to really look into why you have certain heritage, because there are a lot of white people who will go take an ancestry test and be like, oh my gosh, look, I have like 5% or 10% or whatever the case may be, African American or Hispanic or even Native, but they don't know why that mixture happened. And while his situation is different, because my white grandmother in this situation was an immigrant that moved here and had no heritage in the US, he has heritage where we have like half cousins and second cousin, third cousins, whatever it is, where the reason why there's that mixture is because what they did to enslaved people. A lot of people get excited to talk about how, oh my gosh, my DNA test came back and I'm not fully white, I have this like 5%, but not a lot of people want to talk about or learn about how they got that heritage. The man who raised me, my stepdad, was Native, grew up on the reservation, and he is actually the one that first educated me on this, and then my papa educated me more on it, because it is not talked about a lot. Everybody gets so excited about these DNA tests, but they don't want to talk about how these things come about. They don't want to have those hard conversations and learn their family history. Because a lot of that little like one drop stuff comes from the grape of, obviously without the G, because I can't say that word on here, it'll get removed, of women that their other ancestors enslaved. So I truly am demisexual. And if you don't know what that means, it means I literally only care about personality. Like, for example, some people like to play games on PS5, some people like to play it on the Xbox, some people like to play it on the PC, whatever, they have certain preferences. I just want to play the game or I don't. Like, there's no in between. I've dated both men and women of different races, different backgrounds, different sizes, all of that. And one thing he always told me, he made me promise when I was younger, that anytime I went on a first date with somebody outside of my race, I would ask him why he dated outside of his race. Because there are some men who will straight up tell you, I've even had a date go like this that I walked out. I straight up walked out of that date because I asked him this question on the very first date. I kept my promise, I always have. I asked, why are you dating outside of your race? And that man looked me right in the face and said, because white women are calmer, black women are ghetto and loud and make these scenes, and, just immediately started bashing black women. And I'm gonna tell you something, if you think that the color of my skin is gonna make me easier and less loud, I'm not gonna just be a problem. I'm about to be the whole fucking problem. Like, if you go on a date with somebody outside of your race and you ask them that question and their immediate response is to bash women of their own race, leave. Get up and leave. I do not care that, oh, your dinner is really good and you don't want to leave dinner the day. No. Leave the food there. You can go get some more later. I don't care that you think it's rude or bad manners. Tough shit. Okay, I will be rude as much as I need to, because the real rudeness and the real BS is them bashing women of their own race and assuming that I'm going to be easier. Some other advice that he gave is always have a dash camera. Always have a dash camera that faces both ways. Always have your driver's license and your insurance and stuff in a packet, so when you get pulled over, you can pull it right out and you have everything on camera. Never assume that that body camera on that cop is working or that it's going to be shown. For example, if you don't know, I have a close friend, her brother Day was literally unalived by the police for shopping while black, basically. And it's been almost 2 months, and they just now were able to get the lawyer to be able to even look at that body cam footage. And his last bit of advice was always teach your kids their history. Teach your family history. Teach the things that a lot of these schools are not. A lot of people assume that the school is going to educate them on U.S. history, and they pick and choose what they want to talk about. He also said stop putting raisins in things for all of the white people. Now, I don't even like raisins, but I've seen some people at some work potlucks. Yeah. I've also talked about how he is a huge government conspiracy theorist with the whole AI and everything. And he wanted me to make sure to remind everybody to stop letting the government constantly pit us against each other when we should be against them and all the bullshit that they're doing. Because all it is a distraction. If we're fighting with each other, we don't notice the shit that they're doing. And that's how they get away with all the stuff that they do. In conclusion, I just want to say, remember that knowledge is the most important thing that you can have. Sharing your history, talking about these things, it only disappears if you let it disappear and don't continue to educate every single generation on these things. And if people keep trying to erase history, it's just going to end up being doomed to repeat itself rather than us learning from it. Also, he wanted me to thank everyone that said we had matching cheekbones. He also wanted to remind everybody that he gets to take credit for the fact I don't need lip injections, even though my lips aren't even that big. But he likes to send me like videos of women with lip injectors and be like, I'm the reason you don't have to buy these. They're not even that big. I have had 2 random women in Austin ask me where I got my lips done, which was really weird because, like, once again, my lips aren't even that big. But thank you everyone who has been so amazing in the comments and said so many nice things to him.
Kids, Dad's gonna go get some milk.
I am so sorry. We do not claim him. That could have just as easily been my uncle, my late uncle. He would always say misogynistic, racist things. There's no excuse for it. There really isn't. All I can say is that when my mom says something racist or misogynistic, I call her out and she'll just say something ignorant like, oh, this is my house. I can say whatever I want, and I'll let her know that that doesn't make it any less hateful, any less racist, any less misogynistic. So on behalf of all the Gingers, I'm sorry. I apologize, and again, there's no excuse for this behavior, and it sounds like that guy took his videos down and maybe he's learned something from it. I'm sure he realized he was making a poor attempt at a joke and hopefully regrets it. But yeah, I don't know what else to say. That this was wrong. This was not how I saw things going, but we were raised by white people, so a lot of us still do have internalized racism at the most that we're at least trying to unlearn. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hello, Ginger Talk. Oh man, another redhead crying and crying and gushing about being healed. I have so many emotions right now. I can't even process them all. The last 48 hours of my life, I've never felt more love in my life. It's so weird. It's so wild. You know? I didn't know there were so many. I mean, the redheads were so rare that I don't know any redheads. I don't have any redheaded friends, and I rarely see them. And it's just like an understated thing. We just go through it. But I've always got along with black people. And they get it, man. It's like we can't talk about it. We can't even talk about it to them because they deal with racism, right? And we can't hold a candle. We can't even hold a candle to that. We have to just internalize it, and we don't talk to other redheaded people because it's just understood. It's just like, man, I have always hated my red hair, and I have never wanted to have a redheaded kid because of this. It's terrible. But anyway, the love is so good. So thank you to everybody who's on the train, on the TikTok Ginger train. And Red Velvet's lovely. I love that nickname. I'm on the fence about Ginger. I've never really. We just like being. Just FYI, we like being called by our name. Like, my name is Alex. Instead of hey Carrot Top, hey redhead dude, hey whatever. Just your name. Like that's. But now it's like it feels good to be redhead. Finally, we get our day in the sun. Hopefully, this lasts longer than 48 hours. Anyway, thank you so much to the lady who got this going. I feel validated on another level. Like healing is crazy. It's like I have a family now. Because we never feel love. We've always felt that in spite, we've never been chosen, we've been overlooked and glossed over. It's like, we had to find other ways to attract people, to attract the opposites, to attract ladies. We had to do other things. Who knows what? Because this is always in the way. This is always blocking from relationships, from getting something that thought we could get. We had to figure out another way. Anyway, thanks for listening, you guys. I've taken up too much of your time, so I appreciate. My heart is being healed to seeing all the fellow redheads and the women and the children and the ladies and the men just being restored. It's awesome. It's so good. Thank you so much. Peace to you. Bye.
The black community literally saved my physical life.
I have so many emotions right now. I can't even process them all. The last 48 hours of my life. I've never felt more love in my life.
Feeling truly wanted.
I'm black.
I got a lot of mixed emotions. This past week, I have felt more connected, more appreciated, and more loved than I ever have from a community of people in my entire life.
I hope there's a good outcome to all of this.
This whole thing about gingers being part of the black community low-key hits home for me.
And I can just see how loving and genuine all of you guys are.
This past week has been the best week of my life. And I just want to show my appreciation, my gratitude to, you know, all the kind words, all the love, everything that I've received.
I really didn't want to talk about this, but I've just found this out and I really need to talk about it because I think it's important. So I've just found out that not everybody finds gingers attractive. I can't believe it. Like, please tell me that there's somebody out there that finds gingers attractive, because I don't know if I can go on like this. I just can't believe it. You know, I really thought that this was a world where people were accepting, but I've just found out that not everyone finds gingers attractive, and it's really taken me back. I don't really know what to do. So just kind of, I don't know, just it's heartbreaking, and I can't believe it.
What did y'all do to gingers? Because ever since that lady said all gingers are black people, there's gingers on my For You page with tears sobbing down their eyes, like they haven't slept in years, talking about I've never felt this loved before. What did y'all do to them?
Gingers are black. That's the new trend on TikTok. Now, I think it probably started as a joke, and I don't necessarily get the joke, but not everything's for me to get. But everybody's been in my DMs or my comments saying, hey, you know, gingers are black now. You gonna make a video about it? So here I am, making a video about how I'm not participating. Let me explain a couple things to you. Again, I think this probably started as a joke, but I need everybody to understand, I know white people, and white people will seize every opportunity given to them to cosplay oppression. There are going to be gingers that look like me who will use this opportunity to do stupid ass shit and think that it's just all in the name of a good joke. But see, the fact is, I recognize that even though I'm a ginger, by the way, I am the head of the Ginger Council. Don't forget that. See, I can joke. But I want all the gingers who are doing this gingers are black trend to try something. I want you to go get pulled over by the police. And I want you to understand that when that happens, you have a 3 times less likely chance of being killed by the police. I also want you to recognize that by being born white, being born ginger in this country, you have a 91% chance of being born into a family that was outside of poverty. Versus being born black in this country, you have a 78% chance. I also want you to recognize that if you went before a judge tomorrow, you would receive, on average, a 22% lesser sentence than a black offender, same crime, same criminal background. I also want you to realize that by being ginger in this country, you are 4 times less likely, regardless of your income, to live in an environmental justice neighborhood. I also want you to realize that by having a white mother, that your mother had a 4 times more likely chance of living through childbirth in this country. So no matter what the trend tells you, we're not black. So stop cosplaying oppression, and let's just, end white supremacy. Call me crazy, I know, party pooper, boo me.
Good morning. So I just had a question or whatever, because I know the lady made the joke saying that redheads, gingers are black people. And apparently these people have been getting bullied in the shadows all their lives. Like, I never knew. All I know is all on my For You page, they crying and shit. They thanking us and shit for welcoming them in the community. What y'all white folks been doing to these redheads? I thought y'all was all in this together. I didn't know y'all singled them motherfuckers out. Wow. Who would have known redheads knew about racism and bullying and shit? Like, you just never know what people are going through. I just thought that was so crazy. Like, they're really crying. Like, they're really, like, feeling embraced and welcomed. And it's just crazy how you never know what people are going through, I guess. But yeah, I guess we fucking with y'all now. So what's up?
have always been iconic black and redhead duo. Kim Possible and Monique. Ooh, baby. Baby Cheryl Blossom and Tony Toback. Riverdale, please. And let's not forget Batman and Robin, because, you know, Batman wore a black cape and Robin had red hair. Let me find out the Cape Crusader really wanted to be black. So pop the cork and comb the curls, cause the truth just got spicy. Ginger's black? Baby, we not trying to rewrite history. We just trying to season it with a little spice. So the next time someone side-eyes the flame in your follicle, remind them melanin comes in all shades, even with a little paprika sprinkled on top. Baby, this combo was copper toned, culture dipped, and dripping with sauce. Red hot, to be exact. So whether you came in with a smile on your face or tears in your eyes, don't worry. We'll wipe them away for you. You felt that? That was unity wrapped in comedy with a kick of consciousness. So until next time, stay bold, stay brilliant, and remember, the culture got range, baby, and you just got ginger snapped by the truth. Confidants, always remember, if it doesn't cause you to elevate, baby, it's causing you to depreciate. Now raise those glasses, clink, and let's drink till we meet again. Ta-ta.